Well, Stephen, it's time to take a closer look at the big news from last week, which was, of course, HPE Discover and Aruba Atmosphere. For the first time, both conferences were co located in the same spot in the Venetian Convention Center. And it was definitely fun. It was the biggest conference that I'd been to in a while on that side of the fence. Reported 14,000 people crammed themselves into the sphere to hear a bunch of announcements from Antonio Neri and some special guests, which we'll jump into in just a minute. But I thought one of the big things that I wanted to start off by asking you about was kind of they buried the lead a little bit because HPE has launched a private cloud solution leveraging their own KVM hypervisor, which is aimed at customers who are, quite honestly, pretty upset by the Broadcom-VMware merger. This is in addition to their existing bare metal and container solutions in HPE's private cloud offering. Now, we already know that GreenLake is the platform of choice for something like 34,000 customers, but will a new cloud offering with a brand new custom hypervisor be enough to woo some of those VMware Cloud Foundation customers?
Well, I certainly think HPE is hoping for that. I think that this is a really nice move. I applaud HPE for doing this because KVM has emerged as a good alternative hypervisor for people looking to run virtual machines on rather than just container and bare metal workloads. Up to this point, HPE's private cloud offering has really focused only on containerized and bare metal workloads. And yet it's been a very successful product. It's been very attractive to customers. And I think that the addition of virtual machines will enhance that as well. All of this makes sense to me. Uh, it does seem that enterprise customers are sort of getting real in terms of what they're going to do in a post-independent VMware world, with many of them deciding to embrace Broadcom's new licensing and very radically simplified licensing and offering stack, while others are looking for an alternative. And it seems to me that Broadcom is perfectly happy to let customers who aren't the kind of customers they want head somewhere else. Now, where are those customers going to go? I think that there's some companies, let's say Nutanix maybe, who really hope that they would come in their direction. But frankly, a lot of these customers are major HPE customers or Dell or some of the other products out there, and are looking for something that would leverage that relationship. The fact that this is all built into a unified offering is great. The fact that it integrates with GreenLake is even better. It seems to me that GreenLake has been the most successful of the private cloud as a service offerings out there, and HPE just keeps making it better and better. In fact, I've heard some customers who've said that GreenLake is the best product HPE makes. So to have an ability for customers to move from a VMware vSphere environment to a HPE GreenLake private cloud makes a lot of sense. I think that they're going to get some traction from this. I think it's going to work out well for them. And I think that it's going to benefit some, but not all, of the customers. So overall, I think it's a good move.
And I think you hit a key point right there, Stephen. It's the GreenLake integration that is probably going to drive this. It's not just that GreenLake is so valuable to these customers. It's that GreenLake does everything I needed to do without me needing to do anything with it. It just takes care of stuff. So what VMware by Broadcom is counting on is that people are so attached to VMware's workload stuff that they're going to pick a different cloud provider over GreenLake that isn't that if GreenLake doesn't let you run the VMware stack, or are people just going to pick GreenLake and say, fix it? I think that's what's going to happen. I think a lot of people are going to get assistance from HPE to migrate their workloads off of an existing hypervisor onto this new GreenLake KVM, whatever they're going to end up calling it. And they're just going to stick with HPE. I think that's what HPE is counting on because they're providing way more support on that side than you would get from another side of migrating all of your workloads off of GreenLake onto a new cloud provider. But again, time will tell because a lot of the way that workloads are being developed and being run are changing. And that could not have been more apparent because we got yet another stop on the Jensen Huang Rockstar World Tour as Hewlett Packard Enterprise became the latest IT vendor to announce a major partnership with NVIDIA on a suite of private cloud solutions that are designed to accelerate the deployment of generative AI in enterprise environments. And that includes a complete turnkey AI hardware solution, new servers equipped with the NVIDIA H200 accelerators, which are also available on demand through GreenLake. And they're announcing OpsRamp AI copilot for automated IT operations. Now, it was no secret that HPE and NVIDIA were doing something, especially when we got the announcement that the NVIDIA CEO was going to be making a stop with his leather jacket on stage during the keynote. But how does all of this stack up? Are HPE and NVIDIA playing nice because they see a big future ahead of them? Or is this kind of an enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation?
Well, it is interesting because I don't want to be a downer here, but when Jensen Huang sat down with Michael Dell recently, he was caught on camera saying that Dell was the best partner for companies looking for a complete NVIDIA solution. Uh, I don't think that he really wanted to say that on record because, frankly, the best solution for NVIDIA is to have everybody be your friend. Well, HPE is definitely their friend as well, and I'm sure that although Dell made hay with that video, I think that the big news here is that Antonio Neri is also Jensen Huang's friend. And not only that, but that HPE has a lot of nice complementary hardware to go with this. And it comes at a range all the way down from the ProLiants, the DL380 line with GH200s to the Cray high-end stuff with 8 GPUs in them. We've got water-cooled stuff. As you mentioned, we've also got the availability of HPE's hardware in GreenLake. Now, HPE has long been something of a hardware company, but the company's not just about hardware. They also, as you mentioned, announced this ops solution, the AI ops solution, which I'd love to see how that works out. We'll see where that goes as a co-pilot for improving IT workloads. But the big thing, too, is that they have private cloud AI. Now, this is probably the centerpiece announcement, at least from a forward-looking HPE perspective, because private cloud AI would be a way for the HPE customers to deploy AI-based solutions using HPE as their key partner. So this would be all sorts of AI use cases, including things like inferencing, working with data sets, as well as retrieval augmented generation, or RAG applications. If you're not familiar with RAG, this basically uses an LLM as a user interface to an external data set that can be queried on demand. We've seen some really great examples of RAG providing really good quality answers out of a chatbot, as opposed to the hallucinations that people are all worried about. The fact that HPE is now offering their own solution here, I think, shows the value and the importance of RAG. But more importantly, I look at this as an indication of the fact that AI really has gone mainstream, and enterprise customers are really struggling to get AI applications off the ground. I was on TechStrong Gang yesterday talking about this as well. It seems that most AI applications really aren't yet bringing the goods as far as enterprises are concerned. And this is a bit of a threat to this whole AI movement. If we can't get practical, useful, productive applications using AI tech, then maybe it's just all a toy. And I don't think that it is, but I think that that's going to be a prevailing sentiment unless companies like HPE can get their customers producing useful outputs, not just messing around and deploying hardware. So it's important that HPE is leaning into this. It was important that Jensen Huang would be on stage. Tom, I suspect that he looked really at home in the sphere with that classic Jensen look.
Oh, he absolutely did. I knew it was him because I could see the leather jacket kind of walking through the darkness whenever he got up there. And of course, it was funny because as soon as he stepped on stage, you could tell that all eyes were on him, and he knew it. But that's his reward, I guess, for making NVIDIA such a valuable company in the space right now. I mean, you joked about the fact that they got him on camera at Dell saying, "Oh, well, Dell's the best company," and then he goes to HP and he goes, "HP is a great partner." He has that kind of favored nation status with everybody right now, whereas he can kind of say whatever he wants, and everyone else just kind of has to nod their head. Now, granted, it's like the rock star thing where it's like, I love all of the people in insert company and city name here tonight because basically he is allied with all of them, and it's a matter of figuring out which company is going to provide him the best return on investment. And for one of the few times in history, his answer is all of them, because it's not like they're going to jump ship and sell somebody else's solution. NVIDIA is a $3 trillion company. They're the only ones that are developing this kind of radical AI hardware right now. Maybe companies like Intel and AMD will catch up eventually, and that all depends on if people can figure out how to break the hold that we have using GPUs and NPUs from NVIDIA to run these workloads. Now, there are some rumblings that maybe they're going to try to figure out a way to get rid of matrix math in order to be able to run those, and that's still a research project. But the key is that he has, for lack of a better term, a stranglehold on the supply of the market, which means now everybody has to be his friend. But you also have to look at how the companies are building around that. And I think that this is one of the things that Dell may be missing out on, and that is the networking stack. So we mentioned that HPE Aruba Networking was holding Atmosphere concurrently with Discover, and there was actually an entire track dedicated to the way that HPE Aruba Networking was doing things. And a couple of the things that came out of it that I was really impressed by, there was a general session from Phil Mottram, who's the head of HPE Aruba Networking in the Edge Intelligence Business Unit. And he was talking about the way that they're using all the Edge devices to kind of integrate all of this data flow back into a system to be able to do AI inferencing, right? You have to get the data from where it lives to where it needs to be in order to run this stuff. But you need to do it securely, and you need to make sure that it's seamless to your users. And they had a lot of people that came up on stage and talked about that, and talked like the University of Houston, which is one of the largest research universities in the country, talking about how they do all of these things and how they ensure that their people are capable of running all of these workloads. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that they just released a new access point that runs Wi-Fi 7. Now, here's an interesting data point that came out of the AI enhanced Aruba Central. Did you know that something like 80% of people who have Wi Fi 6E or 7 capable access points aren't running them in 6 gigahertz mode? Like, that is one of those things that AI can surface for you and go, I wonder what's going on here. And we recorded a great roundtable kind of discussing those data points and what they can give you, and maybe discuss a little bit more about how AI can maybe come in and go, hey, I think it'd be a really good idea if you turn this on. Here's how you do it. Here's the issues that you could run into. Like, that's the integration that people are looking at with AI. None of the stuff that they talked about in the keynote was, chatbot this, or analytics that. It was using AI to build more fuel efficient jet engines, using AI to do better crop rotations and increase crop yields. Like, they're very much trying to tie what they're building to run AI to real world problems. I mean, the videos in the Sphere were beautiful, talking about how, like Land O'Lakes is doing this, but not only doing that, but using HPE Aruba networking to provide connectivity to rural farmers to help them get smarter about what they're doing, which of course then makes Land O'Lakes a better supplier, and so on and so forth. So I think you're starting to see a lot of this stuff mesh together. And I think that was one of the key messages that maybe flew under the radar a little bit, is this integration piece is so important, whether it's HP and NVIDIA, or HPE proper and HPE Aruba networking, or down the road HPE networking and Juniper. It's all going to have to be integrated to work well together. And if you're farming all of that out to different companies because you need something that they have, or better yet, you're trying to get something that the other company can't provide you, it's just going to provide stress for you. And I don't think people are really looking for that kind of stress right now.